So it's 5 in the morning. Crack of dawn and I'm yawning, right? I just finished my night of Uber, maybe. The surge is still happening right now. And I made some pretty decent bank this evening. I'm actually proud of myself, giving myself a little pat on the back. I talked to this old lady, I talked to this young lady, because she was young at heart, about what to do with life in order to not regret it. And she said 2 simple things. If you want to do something, do it. And don't let anyone talk you out of it. Simplicity is usually key to some of the best advice you'll ever hear. And this is why I'm grateful to have a job like Uber that allows me to meet so many people and bounce so many different perspectives off of. Because if you get wrapped up in your own dogma, I think I've said this before, you may trap yourself. You can be a victim of your own bubble. No matter how impenetrable you think that bubble is. Actually, what should I say? The more impenetrable you think that bubble is, when someone actually pops it, your world can explode. And I've had this happen to me multiple times. Both growing up as a Catholic boy and realizing, well, that religion in general is more or less complete brainwashing of the masses for untaxable profit, for non-taxable profit. Unlearning that was quite terrible. It took many years. I don't know if there's a supernatural deity at all anymore because of that. Alas, she said, like I just mentioned, to maximize your life by just doing what you want. And even if this video is not completely pristine, it's not the best you've ever seen, it's something. It's something that I'm able to produce and just put out there to see what happens. Now, obviously, I know that my speaking ability will just continue to improve and improve. And that's the beauty of it. As long as you hone your craft, you can become an expert in it. Especially if you have an innate ability. You combine an expert's work ethic with innate talent, that's when people like Steve Jobs get noticed. And everyone has that within them, I believe. I firmly believe there is some innate niche talent that everyone has that they can expand upon to the nth degree. People like George Carlin, I believe, had an innate talent, both from his upbringing and work ethic. He became one of the greatest comedians of all time. He was the greatest comedic philosopher of all time, I believe. Maybe I haven't seen enough people, but anyone you ask who has seen George Carlin and plenty of other comedians will likely agree with the sentiment, with the statement that he is one of, if not the greatest comedic philosophers of all time. He actually he shattered my brain, if that makes any damn sense. When I listened to some of his stand-up, it just blew my mind what this guy was saying and how he got away with it and that no one shot him because of it. He actually combined, more so than just innate talent and work ethic, balls. That dude had the guts to get in front of hundreds and thousands of people and say what he believed with a conviction so strong, he barely smiled. Matter of fact, I don't think he smiled at all throughout any of his material. And he just knew it would hit. Or maybe he didn't and he just didn't care. But his material was so crisp. His delivery was so flawless. And then, on top of that, he just spoke what was on his mind. It was obviously scripted, but he just did it in such a way that it felt fluid, like it was off the top of his brain, right there. And so where I'm going with all this is people like George Carlin, who actually took the advice that woman just gave me, inspire me to not care and remember I'm going to die. I'm under the earth within the next 100 years, and the likelihood anyone will remember me at 100 years after that, let alone 100 days or even 100 seconds after I die, is this much. And even if they do remember me, it'll be within my sphere of influence. Because, think about it. There are people who have have accomplished incredible things. And they're not, you can't even, some people don't even know who the founding fathers were. And look what they started. Now some people argue, oh, was it just that? Okay, yeah, I get it. The point being, the founding fathers, I bet most people could not name all of them. It's insanity how minuscule our lives actually are. And yet, pushing yourself to become the best version of you still feels fulfilling for some reason. I don't know. Life is very interesting, man. That's all I gotta say.